Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, two names that will be etched in America's history forever. Hi, I'm Lisa K. Donner, editor-in-chief of Liberty Nation, and with me today is our illustrious and rather prolific economics correspondent, Andrew Moran. Hi, Andrew.
Hello, thank you for having me.
All right, so it's been more than a decade since the nation's housing market witnessed that historic crash. You'd think more than a decade later, it would be enough for policymakers to learn that trying to give everyone a house is not a really good policy. But you wrote an article on LN this week hinting that it's starting to look a lot like the government is making the same mistakes again. All I have to say is, oh no, could that possibly be true?
Yeah, it's like the Milton Friedman quote, governments never learn, only people do. Last week, the Federal Housing Finance Agency announced that Fannie and Freddie would start scooping up higher total mortgages. So the conforming loans, which adhere to the financing limits of the FHFA, and the underwriting guidelines of Fannie and Freddie would be about $510,000. And in some places, it's as high as $756,000. So they say that this is necessary because home prices are going up about 5% in the last couple of years, and this is also the fourth straight year that the conforming limit has actually gone up. So what has me worried is that this could be the beginning of another Fannie and Freddie meltdown. So let's say another housing crash happens, and then Fannie and Freddie, they're going to be bailed out again because they have more mortgages and they have also these greater amount of mortgages. $500,000. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of money for any government agency, especially one that's broke like Fannie and Freddie to hold.
Well, do you think the central planners have kind of figured out a way to ensure Americans live the dream of home ownership, basically without creating unintended consequences?
Well, not necessarily, because you're already starting to see issues with barrier to entry. When you have a higher mortgage limit like that, you're probably going to see more homeowners start increasing their price tag. Since they say, well, more people are going to have $510,000 mortgages, then why can't I increase my mortgage from, let's say, $493,000 to $513,000? So with the millennials, they're already having issues entering the market. So now with Fannie and Freddie raising that conforming limit, which they say will be a good thing, is actually going to do more harm than good.
Just quickly, I mean, I thought millennials weren't really into home ownership. I didn't. Do you have any kind of sense of the number of housing buys now versus say 10 years ago when Fannie and Freddie flopped?
Yeah, well, I don't have the housing data by memory right now, but I will say that the problem with a lot of that data is that when people talk about millennials, they often include the younger demographic of 18 to 24, which is, of course, what 18-year-old is going to buy a house unless he's the son of Warren Buffett or something. But a lot of what we knew about millennials is wrong. 10 years ago, they said that millennials would just be focusing on eating avocado on toast and ignoring McDonald's or Burger King. But that's not true. You're starting to see a lot of millennials eating McDonald's again. You're starting to see them eat Burger King. You're starting to see them wanting to buy cars. So what we thought we knew about millennials is completely incorrect. As they get older, they're starting to adopt more of the okay boomer values, where they want ownership. They just don't want to rent anymore. So that's some of the data I've seen when it comes to millennial trends. As they get older.
I thought they were eating Doritos in mommy's basement, but I digress. All right. Do you really think that this is adding fuel to the housing bubble? I mean, maybe it's just a different time.
Well, I think it's a part of a greater pattern. You're starting to see a lot of similarities to what happened prior to the housing crash in 2007. So one thing I've written about over the last couple of years is that the underwriting standards have diminished by both the federal government and followed by the financial institutions. Another thing are the down payment rates. Down payment rates after the crash, they were at, banks want to have some skin in the game. Consumers would say, the banks would say you have to put down at least 10, 15, 20%. But nowadays, you're starting to see a greater number of banks or mortgage lenders say, okay, 2%, 3%, that's completely okay. And why is that? Because the government is guaranteeing these loans, and the Federal Reserve has lowered interest rates, so they're adding fuel to that fire. It's terrifying what you're seeing. I mean, is a housing crash going to happen tomorrow? No. But in the next few years, you're going to see pressure in the real estate market, and it's going to be a disaster. I mean, you're having more people underwater with their mortgage. You're starting to see a growing number of people underwater with their mortgages, and then you add on top of their higher consumer debt, their greater student loan debt. The next recession is going to be terrifying compared to what you saw at the Great Recession of a decade ago.
Yeah, and I wonder, I mean, we have a rental property in Florida that is still underwater and still trying to rise from the last crash. I mean, wasn't that the problem last time, in a nutshell, that, they allowed too big mortgages with too small money down kind of?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the subprime mortgage. I mean, that's on the rise too. But subprime is not just housing. You're seeing subprime becoming norm again in auto loans. Auto loan industry is a disaster right now because so many automobiles are underwater. And also an interesting thing you're starting to see in the auto loan market, if we can quickly go over there, is that you're having a treadmill auto loan market whereby people have these cars, but when they give them back after 5, 6, or 7 years, it's not worth what they were when they got it over the years. So the treadmill auto loan market is going to create problems. The housing market is going to create problems. The subprime market is going to create all these problems. So the next recession, you're having a multitude of problems that's going to damage the U.S. economy. President Trump can only hope that he's not president when that happens, because I'm pretty sure everyone's going to blame Trump for what happened, when it's really the main culprit is the Federal Reserve, followed by the federal government.
Well, lots to watch out for. Thank you very much, Andrew Moran, economics correspondent for LibertyNation.com. I'm Lisa K. Donner, editor-in-chief. Have a nice day. Hi, folks. Lisa K. Donner here, editor-in-chief of LibertyNation.com. We hope you enjoyed watching this video, maybe even learned a thing or two. If so, please take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel right down there in the corner. Thanks so much.